And we're live for episode 80 of the Everybody Man Live podcast. It is a New Year's Eve. Well, no, New Year's Eve is tomorrow. Well, maybe you'll be listening to it tomorrow. It's a New Year's Eve edition. And the 80th episode is Thursday, December the 30th, and it's the 344th day of the Biden administration. Welcome to our show. My name is Sid Lover. How you doing?
What up? I'm Kenya Kabeen. This is the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Leave your comments in the chat. Join us on video. There's a link. You can hit that link tree link right there that you're looking at right under the screen, and wherever you're watching, make sure that you hit that like, share button. We're live right now on Facebook, so big ups to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody checking us out on YouTube. Man, so we are doing a recap show, Sam. How was your holiday, bro? I mean, because we had
good.
About like 2-3 weeks now. So what's been up?
Well, we've talked since that point, but we ain't had no show in that week. But it's been good. I actually kind of wrapped up the year myself, and I noticed this city right here that it don't say Detroit. So I'm actually still in Greenville, South Carolina. I decided to take an extended holiday because, like, what's the point of going back? Because it ain't nothing to do. COVID is going out of control. So, like, I might as well stay with my family because actually we're all triple vaccinated. So I feel like, to me, at this point in my life, I'm only messing around with vaccinated people because I ain't got time for games.
Right. But then what do you say for the people that like aren't vaccinated? Because I have friends that are like, I ain't gonna do nothing, but it's like they still want to hang out. So it's kind of like, where do you draw the line? Yeah,
and like that's the thing, is that like they're not drawing the line. They ain't never draw the line with taking the vaccine, wearing the mask, social. They drew the line since we started the pandemic. So like it's gonna be up to me, the person who's been taking the shots and doing everything that I'm supposed to do. It's gonna be up to me and you to draw the line because like they've shown that they're gonna do what they want to do. They're not gonna do anything in the best interest of anybody else. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Like I'm just gonna chill out here. And then two, I can work from home. A lot of my work is virtual. So as long as I got some internet, we all right.
I hear you. Well, make sure you tell the family. I say, hey man,
we'll do what they ask about you.
Yeah, tell them. I said, hey, did they make that pound cake? What was it? Your niece made the pound cake?
Yep, she made the pound cake. She made cinnamon rolls. She made red velvet cupcakes. She made sweet potato pie. She just went stupid with the desserts. I don't have type 2 diabetes, but I sampled everything because that's what we do. That's what we do.
I ain't even mad at that. Well, I've been real low key though. It's funny because the beginning of the month started out doing like a lot of Christmas parties, going to a lot of events and everything. Yeah. And one party I went to said they actually made us get tested for COVID before even walking in. You couldn't even show a vaccination card. You had to get a test on site to walk in. Wow. So that was like cool. Then went to a couple more parties, and 2 days later, I get a text message from one of the parties that I went to. They were saying, go get tested. 2 people tested positive for COVID. So that was one test I took. Then another party I had to go get a test for because they were saying, again, a couple more people got tested. They tested positive for COVID. Yeah. So I've taken 3 tests, and they've all come back negative, thank goodness. And yesterday I had my booster shot. So, bro, I'm in it now, man. But I've been laying low, man, because, you know, people in Atlanta, man, these streets in Atlanta, man, people are still – it's actually starting to die down now because so many people have COVID now.
Yeah, and I think that's just really what it's going to take. It's going to take folks to actually get it for them to kind of slow down because we're in that kind of like cycle. But we're going to talk a little bit about COVID in the show. We'll talk a little bit about really everything because we want to recap 2021. We were just talking about like how like I really don't know what was 2020 and what was 2021 because everything's just blurring together. So we'll go through a lot of the stuff that happened, like the Capitol riots on January 6th.
Right.
We got a new vice president who's black. We'll talk a little about her and also the president that we have. And then, we'll get around to some of the school shootings and stuff like that have happened recently, along with some hate crimes and things like that are happening with people of color.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we're going to touch up on all the police trials that's been going on in celebrity court cases. Plus, 2021 was the year of the female athlete. We got more info on that. Plus, we're going to recap entertainment news. Travis Scott, Astro World tragedy. That was big in 2021. People were talking about that. Tiger Woods, Wendy Williams. We have top moments in reality TV with Shorty. Plus, the viral video of the week, we got compilations of Karens acting up, doing what they do best. So I know you're going to keep it locked for that. Also, don't forget, we definitely want to get your comments too. So feel free to comment in the chat. Also, jump on with us too with that Linktree link that you see right under the screen right there, because we would love to have you on so you can make your comments on your favorite and the best and the worst of 2021. So we definitely like to hear from you. But with that being said, you ready to
get
go?
on to the show. Let's go.
Let's go ahead and jump in.
Let's go, ho.
That's got. Let me tell you, that's a little personal thing being said. So, man, President Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris, they defeated Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence in the 2020 presidential election. Biden is the oldest president, the first to have a female president, the first from Delaware, and the second Catholic after John F. Kennedy. Now, his early presidential activity around proposing
operation. A troop pullout from Afghanistan.
And swearing in, providing a moment of celebration before the president, who campaigned on unity, was forced to face the fallout of January 6th, where just 2 weeks before, on the very steps where he took the oath, an attack unlike any other in American history, an insurrection at the Capitol, casting an ominous shadow at the outset of legislation as mass shootings devastated Atlanta, Boulder, and Indianapolis. Instead, the president signing executive orders.
Gun violence in this country is an epidemic, and it's an international embarrassment.
Abroad, the president met face-to-face with his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, at a June summit in Geneva, where he confronted Putin over cyber attacks on American targets.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a clip of what he had to go through. Of course, everybody was talking about how he actually withdrew the troops from Afghanistan. This went down back in September. And during this, he came under criticism because they were saying that it was kind of poor planning with the manner that he withdrew the troops from Afghanistan. So he's been, receiving a lot of flack already with his first year in office. Right now, he has a 53% approval rating. Right now, it's down to actually 43%. The question is, do we think that he's doing a good job? Said Lover, you're the guy about politics. So what's your thoughts, man?
I think he was given an impossible kind of situation. I think a lot of people kind of overlooked that fact that how America was in ruins. Like we wasn't doing good. We had already lost 600,000 people due to COVID, and there was actually no plan in place. We know Trump had never really fully jumped into actually getting people vaccinated. Didn't have a plan to roll out, no plan for testing and things like that. So just even his first day being president was very difficult. So I give him some credit for kind of coming in and kind of at least weathering a little bit of the storm and putting some infrastructure in place. So we have those things. And then too, we got to remember that there have been some good things that have happened. I know I'm personally disappointed that no movement has happened in a few things like student loans, because we all want that to be canceled. That's not happened. But Biden said that he could only do about 10 grand. Whereas Congress, they could waive the whole thing because Congress controls the purse. And that's the other thing too. We just need to realize how politics work. We don't have a king. We have a president. President only gets to do certain amounts of things or whatever. So that's one of the things. But then with the infrastructure bill, we know that we have an infrastructure plan in place now that's going to fix a lot of our roads and things like that. We know the CARES Act passed where they were giving, actually through this month, they were giving an extra $300 per child for all of those parents who needed that money for daycare or anything like that or whatever. So that's what I kind of am disappointed in, is that we don't remember all the good things. We just kind of focus on the bad things. And also understanding that politics, again, we don't have a king, so stuff has to go through the body of Congress. So as hard as he's working and all the plans that he talked about during his campaign, there are other people who have to help him get that approved and through and pass and things like that. And it's unfortunate that it's just a 50-50 tie really in our Senate. So it's very, very hard to get certain things through because you ain't gonna get no Republican help. So I'm he's doing all right. He's definitely not doing bad. There are some disappointments to me, but I do think that we just need to give him a little bit of credit for what he's done and realize that people are actively trying to kind of block a lot of the progress that we're trying to be able to get. Auntie Betty said that he's done an excellent job compared to 45. Give the man a chance before we criticize, and that's a good point compared to where we was in.
Yeah, I mean, and then
I was mad every day during Trump's every day he was on TV and saying something stupid that had nothing to do with making my life better.
Right. And I think that's the reality that we need to realize, that Biden is here to clean up everything that Trump did. And that is going to be a difficult task. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be lots of adversity. So like Aunt Betty said, let's just give the man a chance. You know what I mean? Well, with that being said, everybody mad. We celebrated this Kamala Harris becoming the first female vice president and the highest ranking female official in U.S. history, as well as the first African-American and first Asian-American vice president. Now, recently, you know, Black Twitter, they had something to say about Kamala Harris.
Always got something to say.
Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Well, some media outlets have actually given her tough reviews. Do you think that she's being set up to fail as the next presidential candidate after Biden? Because that's what we predicted on the Everybody Mad podcast. Yes. But, you know, now, you know, it's, again, they have a lot to clean up. So I just think that she's just doing what she can do. I mean, she only has but so much power being the vice president anyway. Yeah. So I think that we're not really going to see her probably till next year. I know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about. You know, so again, people aren't really giving them a chance. What's your thoughts?
I think the same thing too. And then too, I was like, when Obama was president and Biden was his vice president, did you hear a lot from Biden? Not really.
Right.
Have you heard did you hear a lot from Pence? Like when he was on, no, you heard Trump. So vice president by nature, like it's almost like they put you in a bubble and kind of seal you up and make sure you're all right. Just in case something happened to the president, we need to make sure that we have some kid gloves on and we protect that person or whatever. And then two, you don't want two presidents. That's the thing we always say. You have one president at a time, and then someone as powerful as Kamala, if she's getting out and doing her own thing and being very visible and vocal and stuff like that, that starts to kind of play with Biden's ability to be able to lead. We have one leader at this point, so we can't just say, well, I ain't heard from Kamala. We elected her. She came into the churches and did some step shows and with our marching band and went to HBCUs, and I ain't heard from her since. Like we got to get out of that, because that's not what the vice president is designed to do. Like she doesn't have a bully pulpit. She's not on top of anything. She's designed to do exactly what the president asked her to do. And he has certain things that he wants her to do. And then that's what she's focused on. But she doesn't have her own agenda. She can't just jump out, well, I'm black. I'm going to do something for the black people because I want to do, like, that's not the way it works. And I think we just need to have a little bit of reality check when we kind of think things like that. Give her a break. Give her a break. Just celebrate the fact that we got a black girl in there. And then there is a voice of reason, a black voice of reason. When there's some stuff that might pop off, we got somebody that looks like us in there at that table.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Said, shouts out to Miss Gwen checking us out down here in Atlanta. You got Crystal rocking with us. Betty, Annette Owens joining the conversation and comment with the Everybody Mad Live podcast. You know what, say everybody was mad this past year when thousands of pro-Trump supporters descended on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. 11 months later, 727 people have been charged with crimes as they sought to overturn his defeat in the 2020 presidential election by disrupting the joint session of Congress assembled to count electoral votes that would formalize the president-elect Joe Biden's victory. The Capitol complex, of course, as we all know, it was locked down. Lawmakers and staff were evacuated while rioters actually assaulted law enforcement officers, vandalized property, occupied the building for several hours. 5 people died. Many people were injured, including 138 police officers. Now, 4 officers who responded to the attack died by suicide within 7 months.
Yeah.
On January 13th of this year, the House of Representatives impeached Trump for a second time for incitement of insurrection. The Senate acquitted Trump on February 13th after he had already left office. So, I guess, you know, the question is, do you think something like this will happen again? Because prosecutors have charged more than 700 people in more than 45 states. So, Sid, do you foresee this happening again? I personally don't see anything like this ever happening because we don't have a Trump in office. So I don't think that it's going to happen unless he comes back in 2024, which is a possibility. But I don't think it's going to happen again. What's your thoughts?
I think everything that these white folks are doing are test runs. So I do believe that it will happen again. It might not happen at the Capitol, but they are planning certain things. I think the Capitol is ready now because it was embarrassing for our country, and it was embarrassing for the Capitol Police to literally, like, basically you got overtaken. If this was a war, you lost that war on that day because the opposition took your station and everything is within that. But like, I just think that like this is not just one time. Like this is something that was planned. If we remember back, actually in May, prior to that, this was May 2020. Remember how they stormed the Michigan state capitol and actually had guns on that. A lot of the people who were part of that Michigan thing that actually went to get at the governor of Michigan, they were a part of this thing as well. So it is a rolling sort of thing that they're always trying to do. Like the basic principle of everything is that like they know they can't win. They know that we have more people who are on the opposition. So like right now they're trying to strong arm everything. We just need to be ready for that. We need to be ready because from every single election that we have from now on, not only have they changed a lot of laws over the past year or so to make it easier for them to change votes and stuff like that, but we also got to remember that they want to do other things to maintain power. So that's what it's all about. Power. They just want to be able to maintain power and keep power. So absolutely this will happen again because like my thing, there were about 1,000 people who were there were like probably like 2,000-3,000 people who actually went into the Capitol and they only arrested about 700 of those people. You know what I'm saying? So and then some of these people are only getting a few months, they're getting whatever. Like some of the hardened people, they're not getting really hard time. And this is something where you're trying to take over the country. You know what I'm saying? And they're not getting time. So like we said all the time about accountability, it's not coming fast enough and it's not coming to everybody who was involved. So I fully expect something similar to happen again because they are anti-government. We need to realize that. They don't want the government to operate like a democracy. They want the government to operate like an autocracy. Either you're rich or you're white. That's who gets the power. That's what they're on. So that's what we need to realize when we're voting for Stacey Abrams next year. We need to realize that in Georgia, when we're voting for all the folks. I think Florida has their governor race.
Right, they do too.
So when we're voting and thinking about those elections, we need to be thinking about things is like this is how they do when the election don't go their way. So we need to be prepared for that. So like I'm not going to have my eyes in the sky, not really paying attention. This will happen again.
Okay. Let us know your thoughts. Crystal just made a comment. She said the Republicans are trying to state that this Ninja Turtle was climbing the walls as normal visitors touring the Capitol.
She said,
what the hell? Ridiculous.
Ninja Turtle. They was like Raphael and Dominique, and like they was absolutely they was doing.
They were.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Like really, like it should have been bloodshed, and then like not saying that's what I wanted, but like based on their actions and what they were attempting to do. A whole lot of people should have got shot. Like they lucky that only one of their supporters got shot. Most of the deaths from that were actually Capitol Police.
Because had it been a Black Lives Matter protest on
Capitol, it would have been a massacre.
Ooh, they would have shot ninjas. Oh boy,
we would have had to move to Canada.
It would have been bloodshed, and that's just the reality. Because at the end of the day, we're still divided as a country regarding race. So
right. One more comment from Crystal. She said, as an advocate who was on the Capitol often, I was so hurt to view the very offices in the halls. That I've stepped into. Yeah, like excuse my language, but they shitted on like the marble floor and the area and stuff.
Yeah,
tore down curtains, broke down windows. Ridiculous. Black folk ain't never had that sort of moxie to go somewhere and tear down stuff and do stuff like that because we know that we know what the consequences are, but like B, we ain't really cut like that. They try and say that we are. They try and say that they're scared of us and that sort of thing. But yeah, we ain't cut like that.
Yeah, and Trump needs to be held accountable for that too, because he did incite that insurrection. So he still has to be held accountable, but he's not. We'll of course keep you updated. Keeping things moving. Everybody's mad that the pandemic is showing no signs of slowing down. 2021 saw the introduction of 2 new strands of the coronavirus, Delta and Omicron. The unprecedented spike in the Omicron variant is crushing hospitals across the U.S. as we speak. Right now, health experts, they're saying that we should keep New Year's Eve parties very small and outdoors to prevent an even worse surge, because we just got through talking about it, like how all of my friends here in Atlanta, everybody got it, But I think,
that's why I didn't come do the show with you.
Right. And see, we got to talk about we actually plan to be together doing the show live together.
Right.
But you didn't even call, said. I was like,
I know.
well, damn, is he gonna come?
I'm off on communication. I am taking that. I'm owning that. I'm very bad at communication. Like I don't communicate with my like when I came home, I didn't tell my family when I was coming home or if I needed a ride. Like I just got in the Uber and just showed up. Hey, Mom, I'm here. Like
Right.
I'm horrible at communication. But when it comes to work related stuff, I'm on it. It's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, you can't do your family and your friends like that, said.
Yeah,
because
I gotta do better.
I've been cleaning up the house and washing dishes, thinking that you were gonna come, and guess what? No call, no nothing.
But I showed up. I'm here. I'm safe.
Oh, okay.
But maybe, I don't do New Year's resolution, but maybe that'll be my resolution. Like, do better with communication if it ain't involving money. Because any communication involving money, I'm on it. Maybe y'all need to pay me to talk.
Probably so. Well, anyway, do you think that we're going to get another shutdown with this whole COVID thing? Right now, what is it, like 30,000 people a day catching COVID right now with this Omicron variant? What's your thoughts on that, Seb? Because if another shutdown happens, I wouldn't be surprised. This past week for me has kind of felt like a shutdown because I haven't really been going anywhere, and that's rare for me. I like to move and shake. But I've been really chilling. So if something were to happen, I would not be surprised, and I'm totally open to it. What about you?
I think, like the sensible thing would be to shut down at this point because we got more COVID cases right now. Like today. Today is December the 30th, and there are more cases right now than there were any time in 2020 when we didn't even have a vaccine. Can you imagine that?
I know. That's
crazy. That's crazy. We got more COVID now than we did when we didn't even know nothing about it. So, and had no protection. But folks ain't getting the vaccine, and I'm almost blue in the face. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of kind of reasoning to people. Like I don't even like used to be like when people say I ain't getting that vaccine, I would jump right in like you ain't getting the vaccine. Do you realize how? I don't even care no more. I don't even care no more. Whatever you do, like if you like you have decided that it's a survival of the fittest type of thing. You've decided that you just want to do what you want to do. Yeah. So at this point, like I can't be concerned about what you don't want to do. Like there's 2 years of information, 2 years of testing, 2 years of seeing all these deaths, 800,000 deaths. That don't move you to do something to protect yourself.
And I don't know if people really understand that when you do get vaccinated, when you do go get these booster shots, this will make sure that you don't end up in the hospital. Right. There's people they say, well,
make sure your COVID is not severe.
Severe COVID. Right, that it's not severe COVID because I've had COVID before. I've had friends that had severe COVID. It's not a good thing. It's not a pretty thing, but people don't understand. And there are folks that are still like, I don't know what's in the shot, but guess what? You don't know what's in the food that you're eating. You don't know what's in the Tylenol that you're taking. So I don't understand that argument anymore. Let me tell you something. If anybody tells me that, I just don't use something. Don't use another kind of argument, but don't tell me you don't know what's in the shot because you don't know what's in half the food that you eat.
You don't. Like if you're going to McDonald's and that sort of thing, like there's some people here that I'm kind of learning and coming in contact with or whatever. Like they're still on that, like, oh, they're putting something into those vaccines to track you because they want to track you. Well, baby, you got a cell phone, don't you? They've been tracking you. They've been tracking you. You got a computer, right? They've been tracking you. Like all these cameras in many cities that already record all these things and take note of license plates and things like that. Like they've been tracking you. So
the government knows.
Yeah. It was some people here who are super saved. I was talking to a local pastor here, and I was like, man, like, what are you doing with your COVID? Because I know you're trying to come back to church and get people in because folks miss church and miss some of the normalcy that is associated with life and stuff like that. So I was like, bro, what are you doing there? Because our church in Detroit, I know I'm in Greenville right now, but our church in Detroit, we have COVID vaccination stations. So when you come to church on the weekend, there's a vaccination place for you to not only to be able to get all your shots, your first, second, or your booster, but you could also get a test there. We're doing rapid testing, that sort of thing, at all of our church facilities. So we've gone balls to the wall about COVID with our church. But like I was asking him, I'm like, what y'all doing about COVID, man? And he's like, man, these folks right here think the Holy Spirit gonna save them. So they just rely on the Holy Spirit, and like they realistically look at it as like COVID, this whole pandemic to them has been just a test of faith. So basically, you just trust God to save you. And you don't have to do anything. Like you're trusting God to protect you against COVID. And if you get COVID, you're trusting God to heal you. And if you die from COVID, well, you're trusting that God knew that you needed to die at that moment. And I don't get it because I'm like, y'all don't think that the Holy Spirit was somewhere involved in that vaccine?
Right.
Because that's what I do. Like I prayed over that vaccine before I took it. I didn't want to take the vaccine either, but I prayed. And I reconciled with my mind. And I really trust God puts the Holy Spirit wherever he needs to go. You know what I'm saying? So like why wouldn't the Holy Spirit be there in that room when they're developing that vaccine?
Right. How about that?
Are you saying none of the scientists are saved? None of the doctors are saved. Nobody is saved. So ain't no Jesus nowhere in anything with the vaccine. And that's weird to me because I know plenty of doctors who, they know their medicine, but they also pray because they know certain things are really, really beyond their control. You know what I'm saying? So like,
absolutely.
That's why it's just crazy to me. Is that like y'all I don't know. It's not like to me, it's just a miscalculation. Like y'all are using all this as fodder and as reason to kind of go against something that has been proven to be safe. Because ain't nobody dying from the vaccine. You might not believe in the vaccine or whatever, but in 2 years, the vaccine ain't killed nobody really. Right. There might be a few people who died after it, but the vaccine itself ain't killing nobody. So, like, why do you really have a problem? So that's what's really, really frustrating to me is that like people just don't understand. Crystal had another comment that said that she also doesn't understand people's lack of understanding regarding COVID-19 yet because it's just been too long. You have had enough time to learn about this disease, learn what it affects, and how to best protect yourself.
Yeah. She said, we have family and friends dying every day.
Every single day. And I'm tired of it. Like it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to see people struggling and like families are changed. Like it's almost been 500,000 kids who don't have one of their parents. Some of them don't have both.
Yeah, I know people that have lost both of them.
That hurts my heart.
Yeah, it's horrible. So, I just want people just to be better educated and just really think before you speak and before you make that final decision and just say, what's really best for me and what's best for the people around me. Instead of being self-centered and being selfish. Yeah, instead of being selfish, So, of course, we're going to be following everything with Everybody Mad Live Podcast. Make sure that you spread the word. Tell all your friends. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram, too. Everybody Mad Live Podcast. All right, so what was what kind of blew me and everybody was really mad about in 2021 was the return of school shootings that we hadn't really seen in a minute, but November 30th, a mass shooting actually went down up there in Michigan, where you live, Oxford High School in Oxford Township, Michigan. 4 students were killed, 7 people were injured, including a teacher. Authorities arrested and charged a 15-year-old sophomore by the name of Ethan Crumbley as an adult for 24 crimes, including murder and terrorism. His parents, Jennifer and James Crumbley, they were also charged on December 3rd with involuntary manslaughter for failing to secure the handgun used in the shooting. But after actually failing to appear in their arraignment, the parents were actually subjects of a manhunt by the U.S. Marshals, but they were eventually caught and arrested in Detroit on December 4th. So that'll be interesting to see, when they're arraigned, how everything is going to be played out.
Yeah, they're coming, and new information is always coming with that case as well. We're seeing that. Hence had a lot of opportunity to really do a lot more to prevent some of this from happening, if not all of it. And I think, to me, what I haven't heard that I do want to hear is the prosecutors talking more about things like contributing to the delinquency of the minor. That's my fear, is that like some of these charges may not stick because it's kind of hard to say that you're responsible for the actions of someone else when you didn't physically have anything to do with it. Like they didn't point the gun, and they didn't drop them off or anything like that or whatever. But obviously they purchased the gun and some other things that could have been done to be able to save them. But it is part of this conversation. When was Columbine? Like 22 years ago, like 1990 something?
Yeah, that was so long ago, so.
And we still haven't found a way to fix that. There was a Michigan educator that had a comment about it. I want to play a little bit of what she had to say.
Not be infringed. But what about the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? Why are children's lives worth less than guns? Because if I'm not mistaken, ever since the NRA changed course after Columbine by telling you that your rights are under attack and that someone is coming for your guns, has anyone ever come for your guns? Instead, we've seen record gun sales year after year after year, meaning there are more guns in our communities, and that easy access to firearms has created a reality where children are killing children. And instead of addressing the root cause, we have been training children on drills to make themselves less likely to be killed. Are you in this job to represent the people that you protect to serve, or are you here to sell guns? We can't even recognize gun violence in this chamber. Wouldn't dare, right? So I'm not going to stand up here today and ask you to do something because you've already made that choice. But if you're not going to do anything, then get out of the way so that some of us can at the very least try.
Mic drop.
Yeah, good points. Yeah. Very valid points. Well, leave your comments with Everybody Mad Live podcast. We got lots more stories and recaps to talk about. There was another mass shooting that went down in Atlanta this year. This happened at the spas, actually 3 spas here in Atlanta. The man who police say actually went on the rampage, killing 8 people, was actually charged with 8 counts of murder in connection with the attacks. The shooting, which took the lives of 6 women of Asian descent, stirred considerable outrage and fear in the Asian American community. Again, our prayers are with the families and the victims of that senseless, horrible crime that happened here in Atlanta. It was just, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, too, down in Miami, remember when that building collapsed?
Oh, Surfside, yeah,
Surfside, yeah, that happened in Surfside, Florida. This was actually happened in June 24th. Condo building partially collapsed. 98 people died. 4 people were actually rescued from the rubble, but 1 did die of injury shortly after arriving at the hospital. 11 others were injured. Approximately 35 were rescued the same day from the uncollapsed portion of the building, which was actually demolished. 10
Demolished.
days. Demolished. I'm sorry.
Say no to drugs.
Yeah. So, yeah, but and that was really sad too. That was unbelievable. That was like watching something from a movie. Yeah. 98 people. That was probably one of the biggest tragedies of 2021 too.
Yeah, definitely was, and just to see that building, like they eventually tore down the rest of it. I think they did it to tear down the whole property, but that kind of scares me a little bit too because that was a 12-story building. I live on a 27-story building in Detroit or whatever. But the great thing about our building is that like we just got an email today about them looking at some of the we got structural engineers always analyzing and looking at potential issues on our parking garage and our building and things like that. And I think that's what did not happen in the Surfside issue. They had some engineers who actually came and saw that there were some issues. Here is a little bit of their report that they put out, but they saw that there was some issues with the building and the building owners never kind of corrected those issues. So it'll be interesting to see if we get some liability kind of cases of things like that come forth that will result from this happening. But yeah, it was a tragedy, and it something else that could have been avoided. Like America, a lot of stuff that happens is because we didn't do something on the front end. Like a lot of stuff ain't just like, ooh, it was an accident. No, a lot of times, a lot of the problems that we deal with is because we forgot to deal with, or we refuse to deal with the root cause. So now it caused a bigger issue, and now almost 100 people, almost 100 families celebrated Christmas in a different way.
Sad, very sad. Well said. Everybody's still mad and still fighting against bad cops and racists. 2021 offered mixed results in our desires to ensure that Black Lives Matter. Former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin was hit with 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. The case has sparked national protest over police brutality and racial injustice. 3 officers involved in Floyd's death are scheduled to go to trial in March 2022. And Chauvin actually pleaded guilty to federal charges that he violated George Floyd's civil rights too. Yeah. So we're going to keep you updated on that story. Meanwhile, also in Minnesota, with a white ex-police officer, former officer Kim Potter was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter in the shooting death of 20-year-old Dante Wright. You know, she begged, she pleaded, and clearly we know it was a mistake, but at the end of the day, you got to be held accountable for your actions. You know, as a responsible police officer, justice was served, and I'm glad that it was. But she was also found guilty of second-degree manslaughter, but under Minnesota law, will only face time on the top count. So we'll let you know what goes down with that.
So she might do like 7 years, whereas Dante Wright is dead for a lifetime. Like that baby don't have no daddy for a lifetime, not just 7 years. You know what I'm saying? That mother doesn't have her son for the rest of her living life. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why, well, I don't have sympathy for.
I don't either. Not at all.
Kim Potter, because she was actually the officer that trained new officers.
They had reached an outcome. 2 days ago on Tuesday, they had said they couldn't reach an outcome, and the judge said, continue to try, please. They went back, and after 27 hours of deliberation, we're now about to hear from the jury, made up of 6 white male jurors, 3 white female jurors, 1 black male juror, and 2 Asian female jurors. Let's listen to the judge.
Members of the jury, have you arrived at a verdict?
I didn't hear anything that you said because he was talking.
You were talking, my bad. No, I'm saying, I think someone as a police officer that is a trainer of other police, like this happened on day one. She was literally training another officer that day, and as you're training, you pull the wrong gun. You know what I'm saying? So like it's like she deserves to be off the streets. But I hope we need to pass some sensible, not only sensible policing acts, but like we need to have some sort of database. Like these bad cops don't need to get to be bad cops elsewhere. If you're a bad cop, baby, find another job. Like maybe you can be security, maybe you can be a fighter, maybe you can go to school and be an EMS worker, like an EMT. But like police officer work, we don't need to give you a gun because you don't know how to do it.
I agree with you 100%, Seth. I totally agree.
From the
I'm not in law enforcement yet. I'm thinking that a gun and a taser feels differently.
Absolutely. One's plastic, one's metal. One weighs a few pounds. It's substantial. So like you feel the weight of the difference. And then 2, why are you shooting in that baby car?
Right. And then another
He's sitting next to somebody, and then there's kids in the back, and you're shooting into the car. Is that safe? I'm not a police officer like Crystal, but that don't even seem right. Like that don't even seem like the smart thing to do. And then the other thing that we don't talk about is the other results. When she shot Dante, that caused him to press on the accelerator. So he's speeding, shot, unconscious, basically not knowing what's going on or whatever. He's speeding down the road away from them while she boo-hooing and crying, oh my God, I shot him. While she crying, he's speeding down, basically near death at that point. And they went head on into an older couple. Like I think the couple, one was 80, one was 81. So now that husband, the 81-year-old husband, he now has neurological issues that he will have the rest of his living natural born life. So the rest of his life is supposed to be his golden years and living out his best life. He got neurological issues, and now he got nervous issues, and now there are certain things that he can't take. His life has totally changed. So she changed so many people's life, not just Dante Wright's family, but like a few other families too. Get her ass off of the streets and keep her there.
Yeah, and I know we're going to wrap on this segment, but I also think that there needs to be a conversation and discussion about why people are so afraid of Black people. Would it have been a different outcome had Dante been white? Absolutely. You know, for her to act
and like Dante was mixed
the way that she did.
Right,
you know,
his mom was white.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh no, I'm saying that Dante's mixed too. He's his mom is white. So he's a multiracial, but yeah, we'll call him Black. Because we know Black folks with Black, but it would have been different, and that's the thing. We need to figure out psychologically what's in the back of y'all mind that makes y'all so afraid, so afraid of us. Like why are y'all afraid of me? Because I got dreadlocks and the full beard. That's crazy, but
the joys of being Black, the joys of being Black. Well, back in November, Ahmaud Arbery's killers were brought to justice and convicted of murdering Ahmaud. Now the men all face a mandatory sentence of life in prison. The judge will decide whether their sentences are served with or without the possibility of parole. Now, unfortunately for Kyle Rittenhouse, he was an 18-year-old that was found not guilty on all charges for the shooting of 3 men and killing 2 during a night of riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, Rittenhouse actually sobbed and cried in his seat in court November 19th when the court clerk read the verdict, which was broadcast live on national television.
Mm-hmm.
No thoughts on that, Sid? I know we talked about it a whole bunch of times, but
Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant Kyle H. Rittenhouse not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read?
Oh, you can't compose yourself. No.
We wish the jury
bye.
That's white privilege right there. Devonka said it. Now they're celebrating him like the great white hype that they are, and it won't be long. It won't be long till we
hear about him again.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yep, straight up. Auntie says a very good point. Wisconsin. Oh, she lives right next door. Wisconsin is one of the most racist places there. And that's what I want to remind people about this racism is that, like, when we think of racism and folks doing the wrong thing, well, a lot of times, like, our minds instantly go to the South. Like, a lot of times we associate racism with the Alabamas and the Mississippis and the Floridas and anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line or whatever. But I tell folks all the time, my favorite thing is Michigan is just Mississippi with snow. Like, we got so much racism going on in our state. But also in Wisconsin, like Auntie Betty says, there's a lot of racism going on in those states. Actually, Wisconsin has the highest concentration of Black people in jail. I think Black people are about 6% of Wisconsin's population, which means that they should be 6% of the jail population, right? Mm-hmm. But they're not. They're like 40, almost 50% of the. So, like, that means it's like, dang, you just arresting Black people at will. That don't even make no sense how you're 6% of a population, but you're 42% of the jail population. That still don't make no sense.
It doesn't. It's really sad. But again, this is just showing you just the power of white privilege. And again, why it's so important that we need to make sure that we go out and vote. We got
work to do.
Yeah,
we remember that there's work to do. Prosecutors that we need to make sure that they're out of there, and so many other people that are part of this. And I think we get kind of clouded by, like, just looking at the political people who are voting for. But, like, man, it goes so much deeper than that. So we got so much work to do.
We do. We definitely do. Leave your comments with the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Yesterday, Manhattan federal jury found British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell guilty of recruiting and grooming.
Ghislaine Maxwell, on one hand, the graceful socialite, and on the other, according to her accusers, a woman who.
My bad.
Okay.
I meant to mute it. I'm like, yeah. Like, and then I can't even hear any of the sound on my headset. So, like, it's just muted out for me. So that's, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, she faces 65 years in prison. 65 years in,
which is weird. Now, this is what I want to say. Like, ain't like it good for her, girl? You nasty, because, like, you should have been, like, she basically what she did. She rounded up the girls so that they could come to Jeffrey Epstein. So she rounded up all these little teenage girls, talked to them, and kind of set it up or whatever, knowing that, like, at no point you felt uncomfortable about this baby. Nah, she didn't. So, she's getting what she deserved. But my thing is, like, all right, well, we got her. But she wasn't the only person who was involved in what he was doing. There are a lot of rich white men, to be frank and honest, who were doing equally the things that she was doing. Actually, some of them were doing far worse than what they were doing.
Absolutely.
That she do. But, like, anybody else got invited. Like, once they killed, once Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, aka somebody killed him in jail, so he wouldn't think to talk. That just kind of dried up. So I'm like, where are the men who were a part of this? Because you got a Donald Trump who was a part of that. Like, you have a whole big circle of people who were in this circle and doing a lot of the same things, and, like, they need to get the same justice as what she got. Like, don't just get her because she's the female or whatever. There's a lot of rich people, rich white men, to be honest, who were equally as a part of this, that they need to get their justice too.
I agree 100%. Said, well, switching gears, everybody's still talking about the Astroworld Festival killed a whole bunch of people. People that actually, the people that died in the age range were from 14 to 27 years old. 10 people were killed in a crowd that it was just bananas. It was crazy when you just watched the video. Some 300 people, they were injured and treated at the festival site, and 25 were taken to the hospital. Now, Travis Scott, he did apologize. He said that he shouldn't be held accountable, though, for the deaths. Hundreds of lawsuits have been filed in the aftermath of the festival, and we've been covering this since the news dropped on this earlier this year. But it was horrible. This actually went down last month, back in November. The youngest victim was actually 9 years old.
Yep. He died a little bit after the show, but it was kind of weird that. Well, yeah, his album was titled Astroworld, but yeah, like you could see a lot of problems with this whole festival and how they had it set up from the very beginning, with people storming through the gates and that sort of thing. I agree that he shouldn't be accountable for everything, but a whole lot of it is at his feet because something that other performers would do when they would say, "Oh, somebody's down, somebody's hurt, get medic," they would stop their performance. They would actually shut it down and allow them time to be able to kind of get to that particular individual wherever they are. This footage here is a little bit about where some of the deceased were at in reference to the stage and that sort of thing. So a lot of the deaths happen in the same way. There's I think that's him. He's getting basically crushed. All those people are getting pushed because like that mass of humanity, and it's literally like, just imagine thousands of pounds on you where you literally cannot move. And then that was just a scene where, like, people. Yeah, like they should have had more area. And then too, it's the pandemic. Why y'all that close anyway? Why would you want to be that close to anybody and not wearing masks and that sort of thing? Like, that's another thing. Like, we just rushing too fast to get back to normal and all this stuff. But it's just a sad situation. I think he'll be held liable along with the festival promoters, as well as probably the venue will face some penalty. At worst, everybody's going to have some lawsuits that they're going to be dealing with, because I think Travis has over 100 that he's still dealing with from this particular fallout. But definitely we're keeping those families who lost loved ones in our prayers.
Yeah, definitely. People are still talking about Gabby Petito. That was a woman that was killed while traveling on a van life journey across the United States with her fiance, Brian. Gabby disappeared in late August. Her body was found on September 19th. Now, according to the autopsy, she was strangled to death. Her fiance's skeletal remains were discovered October 20th, and on November 23rd, it was announced that Brian died due to self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. People were talking about that like crazy in 2021. Also, something else that people were talking about, sports. This year in sports was the year of women empowerment. Not only were female athletes performing at a high level, they were doing it on their terms. Naomi Osaka said that she's done being shy after her on-camera breakdown during a press conference. She prioritized her mental health and took the rest of the year off. And, she caught a lot of flack for that. Said, I know we kind of discussed that, but you were saying that, you totally agreed with her decision.
Yeah. Like you don't want to do it, don't do it. I don't think anybody should be forced to do anything that they're not comfortable with doing, especially in this particular kind of environment that we're in. We don't, like, you have to do what's best for you, because you cannot be able to handle other things if you off the wall. That's why on planes they say, put your mask on first before you help somebody else. Like that's the goal, is to make sure that you're good and available to be able to offer whatever you're trying to offer back to other people. I definitely agree with her and applaud her for taking that stance, because European journalists too, because I think it happened in Europe. I think it was the French Open, so somewhere in Paris, but they're notoriously very, very hard on women, particularly African-American women. Back in the day, back in the 90s, there was a figure skater named Sergey Bonley or something like that. Like, she was an African-American, well, not African-American, but she was a French-African skater, dark-skinned, beautiful. But she was the only one that could do the, like, it was a double backwards flip or something while skating or something like that. And they banned her from doing it. That was just another case of and they treated her horribly or whatever. So, like, this is just the Europeans just treating our brown sisters kind of like dirt, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad Naomi did what she did because I don't have to deal with that because you don't pay me.
Right. How about that?
You have your job and I have mine, and I don't have to sit here to answer your questions. That's my thing. And like, why folks think you have the right to ask me questions and like that I have to shuck and jive and perform for you? If I don't feel like doing it right now, I'm not gonna do it. If I don't feel like answering your question, I don't have to answer it.
I think that for so many years, though, that that was just something that people were required to do, and nobody ever bucked on the system.
Right.
So now that people are saying, you know what, my mental health comes first, everybody's like, wait a minute, what? But it just seems like people are coming down more so on the athletes of color more than than the white ones. So it's kind of interesting to see how that plays out. Just like kind of like the situation with Simone Biles, she actually pulled out of the team competition for the Tokyo Games, also stating that she was suffering some mental setbacks as well. But the comeback was real. 2 weeks ago, she was named Times Athlete of the Year. So congratulations to her. And also all the females that actually shut down the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. Actually, they played this year due to the pandemic, but American women shut it down, like 58% of the games?
Yeah, they won most of the medals. Had it not been for the American women, America would not have won that medal race between all the other countries. So women helped America be back on top as far as the Tokyo Games in the middle of the pandemic. So definitely shout out to Simone Biles and all of the Olympic athletes who were part of the team because they showed out. And I'm always happy to see Black women doing what they do.
Definitely. So let's rewind to February 23rd. That was.
Hold on.
Okay.
Something is like we talked about Gabby Petito, and I don't want to be belabor it or whatever, but I do want to share and like honestly with that story, I wasn't gonna put her in the story in our show because I really didn't follow much of that.
We didn't
story because like she had enough media coverage for everybody, so we didn't have to really focus on what she was doing or whatever. But like it's like there are other people who were kind of suffering from going through different things. I wanted to share with everybody. Her name is Lauren. What's her name? Real quick. Oh, Lauren Smith Hills. She was actually just found missing. She was found in her apartment dead in Connecticut. There's been absolutely no news about it. She was found dead about 2 weeks ago now, prior to Christmas. Beautiful Black woman. She had attended Stanford University in California. She was studying to be something else, but I wanted to shed some light on her story because ain't nobody talking about her, and she's Black and she's beautiful and she's dead. And you know what they did? Here's the kicker. She was found dead in her apartment. The last gentleman who had contact with her was white.
Okay.
When they asked the detective about interviewing him and seeing if he had some information, they didn't want to bother him because he seemed like a nice guy.
What?
Somebody dead, and the last person that was in contact with him, y'all don't want to talk to him because he's a nice guy?
Man, come on, bro.
That's what we be talking about. That's
yeah,
what we
man.
Talking about. Let me share the story here. Here you go.
It's killing me inside. I miss my baby. The mother of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields of Bridgeport says her family's world came crashing down 10 days ago when her daughter was found dead inside her apartment on Plymouth Street under what the family describes as mysterious circumstances. The medical examiner has not yet released the cause of death, and investigators aren't commenting.
Without a doubt, we know that my daughter was not a drug user, and I had a second autopsy myself, paid out of pocket, because we felt so uncomfortable with the way it was handled.
It's Lauren. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel.
Lauren was a familiar face to YouTube audiences. Her family says she had been a track star at Stanford High School and was now studying physical therapy at Norwalk Community College. A sweet child, they say, who had blossomed into a beautiful young woman who had the whole world at her.
Wow. And so, and you know what, I was going to leave out the Gabby story too, because of what you said, like Black women, always go missing, but no one ever talks about them. So, like you said, I mean, there was so much media coverage, we really never even had to cover it, because of story and because of situations like this, where there's stories that just go unheard of. No one ever talks about it, and because these are young Black women that go missing.
I saw something where they talked about this exact issue, and they said that Gabby Petito, her story was covered by 68 different national news organizations.
Mm-hmm.
0 have covered Lauren.
See, white privilege.
And they found Gabby.
Yeah.
They found her, and they found who did it, like it was a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And
did the autopsy and everything.
Yep. Right. Like, and then this family too, just like Mother Jackie, who we had on the show a couple of months ago back. Her son died in that Georgia gym.
Kendrick
Johnson. We have him on the show. We talked about the same thing. They're spending their own money because the people who they pay taxes to don't even want to be bothered. How the hell you tell somebody who's wanting some answers about their dead daughter, don't call here no more?
Right.
What? Don't call here no more.
That's insane. That's insane. But again, that's just something that we have to go through being African American, where we don't get that respect. We don't get treated fairly. And it's been like that. It's been like that for years, for eons.
We got work to do.
We got
everybody mad.
Definitely. Everybody's mad. Well, Tiger Woods, like I said, this actually went down February 23rd. He was hospitalized in a serious car accident, single collision, underwent emergency surgery to repair compound fractures sustained in each leg, in addition to a shattered ankle. He said he was actually going to end his career after this right here. But he said that he will continue to play a few events per year. So
actually, last month he was on the court, well, not the court, but what do you call it? The golf course. He was on a golf course, and what he was able to do was go with his son. I forgot his son's name, but like his son is almost his twins. His mannerisms are exactly the same, and he looks like him, and he plays just like him too. So they were in a tournament together. So that was cool to see that he's back out on the golf course after this horrible accident that happened.
It's kind of interesting though. Like Tiger, it seems like he's being a little bit coy with exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, he was drunk. Something like it's something up because like the curve. Hold on,
he was going like 80 miles an hour.
80 miles an hour around the curve. Like the speed limit in that area is already like 40 or something like that. So you're going double what the speed is or whatever. And then I think they said that he didn't even really brake or whatever. So like he was either drunk or trying to commit suicide. Like it's one of the two. But like it's something more to the story that ain't nobody said. But hopefully he's recovered from it from a mental standpoint and that sort of thing. But yeah, physically he's back out there on the golf course. So I hope he get his life back in order.
Definitely. Well, it's time for some reality and entertainment news with our entertainment and reality correspondent. Shorty is in the building. What's up, bruh?
Are you on mute?
You're on mute, brother.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on to the Everybody Mad fan club out there in the world? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, brother. You doing good up in Detroit?
I'm doing good. Cedric left me in cold Detroit. I didn't know you was going south.
You could have came.
I had work to do. I'm saving lives.
Well, let's talk, man. Everybody was talking about R. Kelly. He was convicted back in September by a Brooklyn federal court for sexually abusing women, girls,
and boys.
And boys.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Ding, 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 ding. You are the winner. Ding, 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 ding.
I forgot about that.
He faces 10 years to life in prison when he sentenced May 4th. Of course, we're going to follow this story. And his legal woes are far from over.
Did you say life?
No.
10 years.
He faces 10 years to life in prison.
Life, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know life is a possibility. Okay.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's black, of course.
But I believe life is a possibility because they've been wanting that ass for so long.
Yes.
Cheat on that little girl. So this 25 years in the making, damn near.
Right, exactly. So, he actually faces charges of engaging in prostitution with a minor in Minnesota and also child pornography in Illinois. So we're going to follow this story, but it still ain't over for R. Kelly even after this. So R. Kelly going to be in jail for a long period of time.
For a long time. All my god kids will be 30.
Damn. Yeah, that's a long time, bro. That's
Yeah.
a long time. Hey, Shorty, so what was your thoughts on Jussie Smollett, convicted after 5 felony counts of disorderly conduct for making false police reports after he staged a fake hate crime against himself in Chicago? This was back in January of 2019.
See, here's my thing with Jussie Smollett. I really wasn't a big fan, so let me put that out there first.
Okay.
But second of all, you on a platform, you already got a little bit of money. You're a gay man acting on a primetime drama series. So I mean, you kind of on the platform to be all right. You shouldn't have to set up no hate crime for yourself. And his excuse was to further his career. But dude, your career is over. People are not going to work with you.
Right.
Like, that's messy. That's messy. I feel like you didn't.
Tyler Perry work with him. Tyler Perry likes his kind.
Yeah, I don't even think Tyler Perry. I don't even think Tyler Perry gonna work with him.
Wait.
It's
What
over.
Tyler gonna save him.
Even though Tyler does save the group, he does.
He is exactly what Tyler Perry likes. Like, look at Tyler Leftley. Look at him. Like, he looks like he could be a Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry loves a little light skinned actor.
But the thing with Jussie though, this is baggage that's tied to him now. Mm. I just think he's blackballed for a few years.
But Tyler is like very spiritual, very religious, and the church folks love to give people a second chance.
So
like,
Tyler
is not
Tyler is not going to messy his brand. Tyler is not going to messy his brand to Captain Save Jussie. I don't think so. I don't see it. I don't see it. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. I don't have all the answers, but I think Jussie needs to sit down for a minute, think about what he's done, the consequences that he's going to have to suffer, and come to grips with that. You did not have to do this. It was not called for.
He has this movie coming out, B-Boy Blues, that he actually directed, starring Lettucey and some other actors too. So I was surprised that they let him direct that. And this was after the whole controversy went down.
I mean,
everybody on the table.
Everybody deserves a chance. I just don't think his chance is going to come quickly.
I agree with you. Okay, so the world of reality TV in 2021, Shorty. Everybody was talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's go. What you got for us on that?
I mean, this was a good season. We was introduced to Mia Thornton. She had beef with Candace Dillard, and we know Candace still got beef with Ashley.
Yeah.
And then of course Karen and Giselle, even though they made a truce allegedly, them girls' shade is real. Like, I don't care if you truce it, slap a high five, smoke a joint. When the next season start, we're going to be shady again. Why? Because that brings ratings.
Right, absolutely. and the way that they go at it is almost like it's shady, but it's fun. It's not like it's
entertaining to watch.
It's just entertaining.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then I thought about this too. Like, I asked myself, do I think that Giselle and Karen are really friends, like good girls? Like, I'm gonna call you this weekend, let's hang out. I don't see that for them.
I don't see it either.
I don't see it. And at first I thought, well, yeah, they close, but then their shade just got too real and this undercut. So I'm like, no, they ain't Judy's like that.
Right. Okay, now what was your take on Love and Marriage, Huntsville?
Hold on. I got some late breaking news that I would like to share. About the while we're talking about Potomac, let's talk about one of the girls that was not on the season because she dragged a hoe off the last season. Monique. Looks like OWN has ordered Love and Marriage DMV, a brand new Love and Marriage starring Real Housewives of Potomac's Monique Samuels. Sources tell everyone. Obviously, we know Monique from her seasons of Potomac, but says that she has some new girlfriends that she'll be having, and she'll be the center of a brand new show, reality show on OWN, Love and Marriage DMV.
Ching ching.
Yep. Get that money. I ain't even mad at that right now.
I was just gonna say I'm not mad at Monique. I was not mad at Monique when she dragged Ashley. Mm-hmm. So I've been waiting on Monique to have her day. Like, and now you got your own show where you're the lead. That's awesome, and it's on OWN. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like.
I never liked Monique though.
I like Monique. I always like Monique. I thought Monique was cool.
I like Monique.
She's a bit annoying to me. Like with her, she's real quirky and real.
I can see that. I can see that
with her bird and just some other stuff.
T'Challa,
and like with her relationship with her husband, like her husband, and like he's super like real down home country old Chris, and like like.
But what
like
I think about Monique though, see, Monique didn't come from money until she met her dude, and I think now she's trying to match, the upper echelon attitude to go with this new money. If that makes sense.
Definitely, I agree with you on that. So, getting back to Love and Marriage Huntsville, you always talked about how the show was really good. Why was the show so good, and like what went down? There were so many shocking moments that everybody was talking about.
Well, let's take it back to the first season. The premise of Love and Love and Marriage Huntsville was to highlight Black couples doing it big in their city, which in this case is Huntsville. So it's supposed to be, empowering couples doing it big. Come to season 2, everything changed. Martell ended up cheating on Melanie Holt. The Holts had been married for a few years. Martell, the husband, stepped out on her twice and had not 1 kid, but 2.
Ooh.
And the first time, Melanie was trying
he had 2 kids?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Damn.
Melanie was trying to stick it out with him. For the sake of the marriage, for the sake of the kids that they share together. Mm-hmm. But then you step out again, and then you keep stepping out. So it turned into that drama. So it's no more about empowering power couples, although they still do their thing, rightly so, for the city. But now it's more entertainment, as reality shows likely turn out to be.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, what about the Real Housewives of Atlanta? We were introduced to Portia's friend Fallon. And
is that really her friend though?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the title they put on the screen. They said,
"Is that really her
Fallon?" Portia says she ain't, but the show says she is.
Right.
So we met. Fallon was introduced as Portia's friend, which I really don't think so. Because I've never heard of Fallon a day in my life before. Mm-hmm. So fast forward, Portia is now engaged to Fallon's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm. They ain't even ex yet, like that.
The divorce is not final. To us, it looks like she stepped into this girl's yard and left out with her husband. Mm-hmm. Portia says that's not the case, that her and Simon wasn't dating during that time, but looks can be deceiving, and I believe we've been deceived. Because if you notice on the episode where the cast goes to Fallon's house, Portia didn't really interact with Fallon as friends. It was like, well, girl, we're gonna film at your house, and blah, blah. Like it wasn't no camaraderie like homegirls. I didn't hear about Fallon previously from Portia at all.
Portia.
So it looks like you stole somebody's husband.
When Portia got to the party, I can't show the video, because if I show the video, they're gonna flag us and I shut our show down. But when Portia got to that particular party that you're talking about, she fist bumped. Simon, as if like, what up, bro, like that or whatever. So like to me, like, and all the other women did a handshake and that.
Exactly.
So like that just led me to kind of like, you got something there, and like
that led me to believe y'all got some past history.
And I think so too. Like and like I've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta really since the beginning, since Portia's first season when she thought the Underground Railroad was actually a railroad. We learned that. So we've seen her growth through her seasons and stuff like that or whatever. And like, I remember when she got divorced from Cordell, and I remember some other people being on the show, and I remember there being rumors about Portia after she divorced from
and
Cordell,
said African,
and she was dating an African, and an African possibly had gotten her a car and that sort of thing or whatever. So like, I'm thinking that was Simon back then when they was talking about that African.
That was
him. Simon been breaking her off with something, or like they had some dealings because you can't go from reconciling with your baby father, the only child that you have. You're trying to work it out. Actually, all throughout the pandemic, y'all trying to work it out, trying to make it. Beginning of 2021, still trying to work it out. Somewhere in the middle of the spring, you decide, okay, well, it ain't gonna work, and then the very next month, 1 month, you get another dude, and you get engaged to that dude. Exactly. Stuff don't happen that fast. You ain't that much in love. I know he makes some money, but you ain't that much in love to be able to go that quickly from one thing to another. So Portia is lying. She been knowing that man, and that's fine. That's cool. But
let's be clear, she's about the money.
Always
about the money.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger, But she ain't messing with no broke
nigga. yeah.
Now that's some real shit right there, for real. So, okay, so we talked about that. So, in your opinion, Shorty, best reality show of 2021, is it Real Housewives of Atlanta or what?
I'm stuck between Huntsville and Potomac.
Okay, all right.
Those are my go-tos for this 2021.
No doubt.
Oh, and also Married to Medicine.
Oh yeah, Married to Medicine. I love Married to Medicine.
But see, and then because Cedric don't like when I support the white people. I also watch Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, see, I don't watch those shows.
I know. That's why I never
always bet on black.
That's why I never bring them up.
I always bet on black.
But as far as my go-to would be Love and Marriage Huntsville, Housewives of Atlanta, and Married to Medicine.
Okay, all right, cool.
And of course, Love and Hip Hop when I'm feeling it.
No doubt. Now, what was big in 2021 was the big versus battles when you pit two dope artists up against each other. We saw so many different battles from, let's see, Escapes, SWV, Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight. I mean, there have been so many good ones. So what was the best versus of 2021?
The best versus to me would have been Escape and SWV.
They did have a good.
And the only reason why I say that, because I know it's verses, we doing catalog for catalog, song for song.
Right.
This one to me was about performance. This was about performance. And when I say Escape came to not play with SWV, yeah. So that is my favorite for the performance aspect of it.
Okay.
Now my worst, well, I ain't gonna say my worst, it was just disappointing, would have been Stephanie Mills and Shaka Khan.
Yeah. And that all falls on Shaka Khan, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Really unfortunate, but Shaka was high as a kite.
Ooh, child.
He was geeked up, bro.
Baby.
But that's pretty consistent. That's pretty consistent for Shaka Khan.
It is.
It is. She owns it. She owns it.
She owns it. We had another comment about the favorite reality show that we forgot. We had a comment from our green room. Haley said, well, not Haley. It's Tasha, but baby.
Hey, Tasha.
She said she likes Marriage Boot Camp. Hold on. Tasha, I'm about to put you on the screen because I want to see the baby.
I want to see the baby too.
I do too.
Hold on.
We're a little chunky self.
She's so cute.
So cute.
She getting the camera together.
Look, say hey, Haley.
Hey, Tasha.
Hey, Haley.
Hey.
What up, Tasha?
Oh, ain't she so
cute? Chunky cheeks.
She said, hey, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Look at her smiling.
She is too cute.
Hey, little baby. She is adorable.
Ain't she cute?
Look at the big jaws. Hey, little baby.
Ain't she cute as ever?
She trying to rant.
Too pretty. Too pretty.
Blow kisses. Blow kisses.
Mwah.
I love it.
Mwah.
All right, I'll leave you alone, Tasha.
Bye.
Good seeing you, Tasha.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'll see y'all on my next trip.
Yes.
That's adorable. Wow.
Yeah, I saw her in the green room. I was like, oh, she's so cute. I gotta share the whole art.
Yeah, that was adorable. Wow. Hey, Shorty, what's your take on all of these breakups and makeups? J-Lo and Ben Affleck, they got back together. Kim and Kanye split.
I'm over all of them because I don't see true love in none of that. Like Jennifer, we know she can't make her mind up.
Right.
We knew Kim wasn't gonna stay with Kanye if he kept being crazy.
Okay.
So where's the love? Like I just don't see love in reality or celebrities right now. Like if you ain't 55 and had your man or woman already, baby, I don't see it. That's
but Quavo and Sweetie got back together.
See, I don't even know who they are.
They got back together, said.
I thought they did. Like, remember he took the Bentley from her and then they got back together? Well, yeah, like they got back together about 2 or 3 months
Really?
later.
But didn't he beat her ass on an elevator too or something?
Thank you.
Oh,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's well, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I was very surprised. Now, brothers, you all tell me. I was surprised by Megan Good and Devon Franklin.
I was surprised about that too.
I was very surprised.
Yeah, they've done a lot of marriage conferences at a lot of churches and ministry. Obviously, they got the book. We're real familiar with it. We didn't bring them to our church, but we wanted to. I think we couldn't work out the schedules and that sort of thing. But yeah, a lot of people were surprised at that. But ain't we glad to not have Megan Good be a preacher's wife? She don't need to be the first lady. Like we need her to be. We need Megan Good out there fighting. I mean, pretend fighting. Like,
but see, I don't see Megan as a thought. I don't.
She's not. But we need to see. Well, she's not a thought, but we need to see her in all of her beauty.
We need to see her single. That's what we need to see her single.
We don't need to see her reserved and like hands in my lap and like supporting her man as her husband. Like we need to see her.
Got your prayer cloth around your knees.
But look, Megan Good has never been that type of girl. She's always been like kind of like on that earthy thing, that earthy vibe. I know back in the day when she was trying to break out of the whole, child star role, she started doing, a lot of sexual roles and things of that nature. But remember her first role, she was kissing Sam Jackson in the mouth in Eve's Bayou.
You're right. You're right.
But
that's a throwback though.
But I'm saying all that to say that Megan Good is a really good actress. We can't forget like that Eve's Bayou. That was critically
that's one of my favorite movies.
And that's my point. That's my point. As an actress, like you need to be able to spread your wings and open and be able to be creative and that sort of thing. Like as a first lady, as a preacher's wife, whatever. There's certain roles and certain things that she's just not going to do because that's going to bring a certain sort of life.
And that's what I was going to say. She's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. So that's what people were speculating that was the reason why they broke up.
Well, I got one question. So will she start?
Well, he didn't want to file for the divorce.
Will she start doing racy roles now?
Will she start doing what?
Now that she's divorced, will she start doing more racy roles now?
I'm sure.
Like will we see her in P-Valley?
No. Where is P-Valley, by the way? Now that's I'm waiting
on season 2. I'm waiting on season 2.
I know. I was waiting for P-Valley. Well, I know that they were shooting down here in Atlanta on the Tyler Perry studio set, but I don't know when it's going to come out. I think there was a trailer that dropped for it, but I'm ready for P-Valley to come out.
I'm ready.
Looks like Megan Good. I'm on her IMDb. She has a superhero movie coming out. Looks like an animated show called Shazam! Fear to God, so she'll be in that, and looks like it's day shift. Both of those are in post-production, but they don't seem to be racy or any sort of outside roles. She'll still be in Harlem, I assume.
And Harlem is racy. Harlem is racy.
Yeah.
What did you all think of Harlem?
I liked it. Like, it's just like, like anything else coming out of New York around that time dealing with that same thing. So, I mean, it's refreshing. I still like to see it. So,
yeah. I thought it was good. It kind of reminded me of Run the World, but it was still good.
Yeah.
What did he say? I agree. Why go back to an ex-boyfriend, Jennifer? Once I put you down, that's it. Did try with Kanye. Yeah,
that's it.
She did.
We give her an A for effort, but she like child.
But Kanye just purchased a home across the street from where Kim lives. So.
Oh, that's so petty. That is.
You want to co-parent? Let that man co-parent. He got to see Northwest.
Get your house across the other side of town, not right across the street from me.
Right.
North. It's same.
So when I got a car pulling up, I don't need you texting or calling.
What's the baby's name?
Right. I agree.
North Saint.
See, the names is even weird. North, Apple, West, Christmas,
Hallelujah,
time,
Spirit.
Man,
I mean, but when you to their benefit, when you got money, you can name your kid any damn thing. Period.
Right. Really can.
you can name your kid anything now.
Hey, you really
do
can.
it all the time.
Hey, Shorty, one more thing too. Everybody was talking about how Kelly Price went missing this year, and turned out she wasn't missing because she didn't tell people where she was. Because, in my opinion, she just wanted some attention.
Exactly.
She just wanted attention, and that was the wrong way to handle it.
It was the wrong way.
People are still talking about that. Kelly Price. What do they say? They were looking for her like Finding Waldo.
Like Finding Waldo. Like, girl, where you at? Where you been? Because Kelly Price was always on Instagram going in about some company that's done did her wrong.
Oh, Hertz.
And then all of a sudden, girl, we don't see you.
Yeah.
And like the funny thing, like those companies was like regular smuggler companies. Like
regular.
Hertz rental car. Girl, you ain't got your travel together to where you ain't got to go to Hertz.
Like, girl, you ain't got a chauffeur.
Like, you just have some sort of private transportation company. Like, that's what we order when they come to our church or when they come to town. Like, you get a private company, like you don't give them a rental car so you can
Exactly.
drive around. And then the other thing too, like I think the other thing company she had an issue with was Dollar General. Girl, why'd you up in the Dollar General?
Buying paper towels.
Get up out that Dollar General.
But Kelly Price has been found. She's back on social media. I want to talk about that picture though. Kenya, I sent you the photo.
Oh, let me see.
Of her, yes, honey.
Why you ain't send it to me? Because I'm the one that can put it on the show.
Well, because I had been sent it to you.
Pull it up, Seth.
Yeah, pull it up so people can see.
I don't know. I'm just pull up her IG.
Yes, it's on IG. But yeah, Kelly Price got on her a one-piece bathing suit. The whole left thigh is out. I mean the whole thigh.
What?
And then you know they airbrush, but she looks good. Like no shade. The picture was, it ain't something we see from Kelly Price, but boom, it's coming. Here we go, right here. The red background. Yep.
She said, "Merry Christmas, everybody." Here I am.
Here I am.
She do.
The turkey has arrived. Let me shut up.
But look at your comment though. Why did your comment pop up?
Who am
Echo Prince.
Sure
No shade, Kelly. This right here, baby.
Baby. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Because this pic is saying, "Baby, I'm here." You showed what is that? You showed up late. This pic is saying to me, "I'm Kelly. Catch Miss Price from 9 to 5." Boom.
Boom.
I don't know what any of that means.
After 5 o'clock, she turned into something different with the whole leg out.
Clear.
Well, hopefully she could change that old funky ass attitude that she got.
You know what? I still ain't forgave Kelly Price ever since she showed out on Shantae Moore. That just let me know, like, girl, you
right. She had the Vaseline and was taking her earrings off and had her.
Vaseline to Tim's. Vaseline to Tim's.
I said for Shantae Moore, girl, you can just blow. You can blow on Shantae and she'll fall.
Right.
You too big to be picking on people that's smaller than you.
Yeah, that made me not like Kelly
Don't
Price.
be a bully, Kelly.
Don't be a bully.
Shout out to friend to the show, Marnita. She said, we forgot about Gorilla Glue Girl.
Y'all forgot about the Gorilla Glue Girl.
Y'all forgot, because I'm done talking about it. That was a moment of 2021, so yeah.
That was a moment. She had a moment, and now everybody forgot like we did.
Well, here's a reminder. Here's a reminder. Do not use Gorilla Glue in your hair.
How about that?
Period.
I didn't forget because I actually have the video. So let's go ahead and do one of the viral videos of the year.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Hey, y'all. For those of y'all that know me, know my hair has been like this for about a month now.
Baby, when I say that
it's not my choice.
Down to her scalp.
It's not my choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with the little Got to Be glue spray. Just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more Got to Be glue spray, so I used this.
Girl.
Gorilla Glue spray. Bad idea.
Do you see my hat?
Yo,
the jury has spoken.
My hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm saying?
It ain't gonna move.
It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times and it don't move.
That shit's so
smooth. My hair. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this: if you ever run out of Got to Be glue spray, don't ever use this unless you want your hair to be like that.
But my thing is, girl, who suggested that to you?
But she is back and better than ever.
It's her now.
My hair, it don't move. It don't move. My hair, it don't move. It don't move. My hair, come on. It don't move. It don't move. My hair. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. My hair. It don't move. It don't move. My hair. Let's go. It don't move. It don't move. My hair. You hear what I'm telling you?
I'm just saying, if the shit ain't made for your hair, please don't put it in there.
Right, don't put it in your hair. That's all we saying.
That's all I'm saying, girl. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man.
But actually, recently, I think it was last month.
She messed up. She messed up again.
What did she do? I forgot what she did.
She dyed her hair.
Yeah,
she dyed her hair, and it's coming out in big clumps.
Knowing that she was bald, you had to go to that surgeon, and he took it all the way back. So
her scalp
like now she's grown enough hair to kind of have a little bit of a little puff or something like that. And then she decided that she wanted to color it. because she didn't like the grays in her hair.
Permanent color, a chemical.
So like y'all, my hair is coming out.
But my thing is, if you had to have surgery to remove Gorilla Glue, right? Bitch, your scalp dead. Like you shouldn't be doing no chemicals for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only state certified as a cosmetologist. I know a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe we need to have her as a friend to the show, and we need to make sure that she gets like when she gets a little moment of thinking that I need to do something to my hair, she needs somebody to talk to.
This is what she needs. NutriBurst. It'll help you on the inside to get everything on the outside right.
That's true.
Vitamin.
It's the truth.
I mean, do something the natural way.
I'm with you 100% on that, Shorty. I'm with you 100%. Shorty, let me ask you something before we let you go, man.
What's the word, bro?
We had some great guests on the show this year and said this question is for you too. Who do you all think, who were some of your favorite guests for 2021?
Psychic Wayne.
Okay.
Psychic Wayne was he only because he told me I'm talented and I got many talents. I just need to decide what I'm gonna invest in and right. Yeah. So ever since he told me that, I carried that with me. And ever since he said it, I'm seeing these talents. Like, well, bitch, you can do that. You know, because yeah. So shout out to Psychic Wayne, my number one fan, my number one guest for 2021.
Okay, my number one guest will probably have to be between Head Crack from Dish Nation and then probably Kendrick Johnson's mom.
Oh, that's my close second.
Yeah.
Close second. Yeah.
What about you, Seth?
I like all those. I think those were like it's always hard for me to pick a favorite because I like different things about the different things. I like how we were able to get real with Jackie Johnson and Mother Johnson because we haven't really been able to really dive into that and just learning her story about how much money they still continue to have to pay just to find some justice. So I enjoy seeing her. Yeah. Obviously, Psychic Wayne. Who else?
Preacher was good. Keith Preacher.
Yeah, Preacher was good.
Is that the dude that played in the Panther?
Jervis' conversation that we had with him was good about how men also suffer from sexual abuse or whatever. So, like we got a lot of different things because we ain't just shooting the shit. We got a lot of different stuff that we talk about. It's actually good. Yeah. So it's hard for me to pick a.
I get a lot of comments from people who watch us saying you guys just bring something different. Y'all funny, but yet you're serious without making it all too serious.
Right.
Yeah.
We break it down.
Ain't nobody trying to cry.
Right. We break it down to where people can really understand. This is a whole different.
Oh, Brian Bean. That was a good show.
Brian was good.
I think mine was probably our most popular show of 2020.
That was one of our most watched shows. Definitely Brian Bean.
Brian Bean and Head Crack.
The show with you fell off that show, but the show with what's the guy from our tag team? DC the Brain Supreme.
He was good.
Yeah, he was a good show. Like he took over our show. Like he talked.
He did.
He talked the whole
shit.
The whole show.
He handled the whole show. We didn't say nothing.
Yeah. Not a word.
Yeah. Michael Larry was good.
Well, yeah. Well, Shorty, man, we appreciate you as always, man. We're gonna wrap you up, but tell everybody how they can get in contact with you, brother.
Yo, I'm on Instagram 24/7. If you're looking for me, you can find me there. # Echo Prince, ECHOPRINCE.
There it is. My brother, look, you stay blessed. Happy New Year to you, and we'll see you next year.
You all as well. So I guess that's saying what I'll see y'all next year.
We'll see you next year.
See you next year.
I will see y'all. Everybody, please be safe. Thank y'all for supporting this podcast and everything that we do. We do it for y'all. So shout out to the fans out there. We couldn't do it unless y'all was watching. So fellas, Sid and Kenya, I love y'all. Y'all know I do. Y'all be
safe. Wouldn't do it if they wasn't watching.
We wouldn't do it if they weren't watching.
We love you too, Shorty.
All right, I'm finna watch the first 48. Peace. All right.
Say you got a compilations of Karen's acted up viral video of the year.
Yeah, so we figured we'd end off the show with some compilations of some of the Karens we've been seeing over the last year. We'll start off with one of the famous Karens. This is the NBA Karen.
Hey, this is a joke. This has to be a joke. You guys and they're blaming these guys. That's a joke. That's a joke.
All right, so that's one. That was the Karen who was harassing LeBron James at his game for the Lakers, and he had them actually removed from the stands. This is we had a lot of Karens on flying. Karens thought they needed to go somewhere during the pandemic, so we had a lot of Karens who had some issues with people on flights. Here's one.
Yeah, put your fucking mask on. Who invited you to come to drink your ass up? Don't you dare talk to me like that. You stand your step up. Stand your ass up. Stand your ass up.
Sit down, Karen.
Karen?
You're a goddamn Karen. Sit down.
Do me like that.
Jussie.
Pussy, no, you're the pussy.
Oh, no, you're the dick.
Do you want the police to meet you on the ground?
What about him?
Mask up. Now.
Mask up.
Put your mask up.
Mask up. Tell him
You
to
got your mask down, bitch. Sir.
Did you call me a bitch?
Yes, I did. Stop it again. Oh, now you're going to jail. That's assault. You're going to jail. As soon as we get in later, you're going to jail. Bitch. Karen. Hey, spit on me. Now you're double going to jail. Bitch.
You fucking piece of shit.
Piece of pussy, sit down, Karen.
Fuck you.
Sit down, Karen. Sit down, fucking Karen. Look, she punched me.
Put your fucking mask on. Tell him to put his mask on. Put your fucking mask on.
She punched me. She scratched my face. I want her to fuck
Put
out
your
of here.
fucking mask on. Put your fucking mask on.
Put yours on, bitch.
I will put my mask on. I will put my mask on when you put your mask on. Thank you.
And to get a brother to get her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would have physically picked her up because she don't weigh nothing but like 120 pounds. Ain't no way I'm gonna sit here and argue with you about something stupid. And you in my face, and she spit. When she spat, it's over. That little girl would have been dead.
And she doesn't have one. And she didn't have her mask on either.
I would have picked her up and put her in my pocket.
Wow. I had never seen that. That was so entertaining. What else you got?
One more. This is a schoolhouse Karen.
No. Deal with me.
You're right. Have you touched me? I did not touch you. So I asked you.
Now she want to keep her job, so she ain't gonna touch it, but I would have.
No, I'm calling my mama. You ain't about to fuck me up, bitch.
Chill. No, wait, stop. Let me relax.
Get off my seat.
Keep the camera.
You want to talk to her because she's black and she's fucking pissing me off right now.
Because she's black. That's too much.
The teacher handled it the right way, though, because I'm telling you, had she laid hands on that little white girl, that woman would have been fired. You and I both know that.
Yeah, she wanted to keep.
She had good reason. She would have had good reason, but still, the woman handled it the right way. As the adult, you got to know how to diffuse the situation. That little girl was way out of line. I hope she got her ass expelled.
Yeah, we need to follow up with that story actually see what happened with her. But yeah, I definitely couldn't be a teacher in this sort of situation because I ain't no way you younger than me and you disrespecting me like that. Like I'm like I'm gonna have to meet you with the same energy that you meet me. Like when you hit my hand, I'm grabbing all your hands because you struck me first, and that's self-defense. So I'm defending myself while I take your ass out this classroom or I take your ass off this plane and that sort of thing. But I feel for our service industry because they still getting it. And listen, like a lot of that is about people just don't want to do right.
Yeah,
Karens, we still got to deal with them.
I know, man. Well, before we wrap up the show, we definitely want to pay tribute to those that we lost in 2021. Man, it was so many great people that we lost. Rapper Young Dolph, Actor AJ Johnson. Are you gonna pop pictures up, or just you want me to?
Yeah, just keep on going.
Yeah, you know,
we just don't say their name.
Colin Powell, actor Michael K. Williams, Nene's husband Greg Leaks, rapper Biz Markie, actress Suzanne Douglas from The Parenthood. Remember the mom from Parenthood?
Oh, she died?
Yeah, how Stella got a groove back. Angela Bassett's sister, Suzanne Douglas.
Yeah.
She passed.
Oh.
Comedian Paul Mooney, he passed.
Yeah.
We also lost Shock D of Digital Underground. Rapper Black Rob, of course DMX, R&B singer Sam Salter,
Queen Elizabeth husband.
Who?
Queen Elizabeth husband.
Who was that? Midwin Charles?
Prince Philip. You don't know?
I don't keep up with the whole royal family. I know who Prince Diana is, and you know them. Prince Marky D from the Fat Boys. Now, why do y'all have in the notes the light-skinned fat boy? Who put that there?
Because some people don't know which one of the Fat Boys he is. So we have to say the light-skinned one.
Okay. But, okay.
Michael K. Williams was definitely a big loss that we experienced.
Definitely another loss, Cicely Tyson. I thought that was, wow. That was
I know the pandemic done messed up my timing.
Yeah, Cicely
Tyson. I don't know if it was 2021 or 2020.
It seemed like it was 2020, said.
Elgin Baylor died, famous basketball player.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so who else do we have? Eric Jerome. Bishop Desmond Tutu.
Oh, the fashion designer, Virgil.
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about Virgil, yeah. We lost some greats, so definitely RIP to those greats out there, and our prayers are with their family and friends. Definitely.
Oh, did we say Desmond Tutu?
I said Desmond Tutu and Hank Aaron. We forgot Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. I think I said him. And Michael K. Williams, we said him?
Yep.
I don't want to forget anybody. We did. Oh, Vernon Jordan. He's a political strategist for the DNC. Kenneth Kelly. I don't know.
Who was that, sir?
I don't know. A lot of people I don't know. Bob Dole, I knew him.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. Like I know we tried to we forgot about Melvin Van Peebles.
What?
See, this year is just going together. That's why I say we're just gonna let this thing play out because we don't.
Yeah. Mary Wilson from the Supremes.
From Supremes. Mary Wilson. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Cicely Tyson, I think, was 2020 though. I don't know.
Cicely Tyson.
Wow, Christopher Plummer died?
Cicely Tyson she died at the beginning of January.
Oh, wow, she sure did. Okay.
Yeah. So RIP.
So, said that's a wrap for the show, brother, as we look back on 2021, man. How do you think, what's your thoughts on our progression this year as far as a podcast?
Dope. I think it's been, I don't know. It's weird that like this is ending our second season. So when we come back in January, that'll be our third calendar year. Like it's weird that we've done 80 episodes of everybody, man. And some people ain't listened to one of them, but a lot of people have listened to every single one. So we definitely appreciate everybody for being a part of this show because that's why we do it. We think it's very important for Black people to tell our own stories because we see how if we allow people to tell stories, they're gonna miss out on some stuff and they're gonna say it the way we need to say it and that sort of thing. And then two, we talk about things that we need to do as a community that a lot of people won't ever try and tell us to do. So we want to make sure that we're providing you with some sort of help financially, educationally, keep you up on politics and pop culture, a little bit of comedy mixed in with it. So I appreciate everyone for being a part of this journey. And hopefully as we grow, we kind of grow with our audience as well. So thank you for everybody for being a part of our show for a second season. And I'm looking forward to 2022.
There it is. Same thing with me too. Just shouts out to everybody that's been supporting us, rocking with us, that's been following us. Make sure that you spread the word because we need to build our followers. We, like mentioned, we have a lot of important stuff that we like to talk about, and it's such a variety of different guests that have been on the show. And we just come from a place of love and understanding, and we just want everybody to just ride with us and just experience everything that we have to say and everything that we want to talk about and that you all want to talk about too. So we just really appreciate everybody just checking out the Everybody Mad Live podcast. So again, thank you. I want to send a special shout out to my family members that check me out on a weekly basis. Everybody in the city of Savannah, Mayor Van Johnson, because he was one of our guests too.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
We've had some dope guests. And we got more great guests coming in 2022. We're already working on booking a lot of great talent for next year. But just thank you. Thank you so much for checking us out. We really, really really very appreciative of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been real. Thank you for everyone. Oh, shout out to my family. You saw some of them. I guess saw baby Haley. I guess Haley would be my great niece.
Really?
Yeah, saw her, but obviously the rest of my family who've been checking in. Thank y'all for rocking with us and supporting and that sort of thing. Hold on, we might even bring you on.
Who that?
Turn your camera on if you want to be on before we shut off the broadcast.
Who was that? Annette?
No, it's some people in the green room. I was just telling them to turn their cameras on if they want us to come to them before we wrap.
Oh, okay.
Here's one.
Hey, sweetie.
Family, what's up, sis?
How are you doing?
Doing good. How you been?
Any better than I couldn't stand it.
That's good. Look, you didn't save me no cake, though.
You know what? Cedric ate it all. He did.
I sure did.
He absolutely. I'm sorry to say, Shantae made every dessert imaginable, but yeah, Cedric really, really enjoyed it. And I didn't eat any because I want to make sure he had all he wanted.
Oh, that's love right there.
Yeah.
That is love. So you all had a good holiday, though?
Yeah, we did. We did. Thanks goodness Cedric was here. We loved having him.
Yeah.
It's so funny seeing my Christmas tree in the background.
Right.
and the liquor cabinet.
And the liquor cabinet.
And the liquor cabinet.
Going straight to that after. Hold on. Here's Tasha and Gregory.
Hey.
Hey,
Great.
Hello.
What up, man? What's going on? You had a good Christmas, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get everything you wanted?
Yeah.
That's good.
Of course he did.
Right? Good. I love this, man. I love said that you bring your family on and that you just got so much love and support around.
Come here, Haley.
Yeah.
Look at Greg.
There's my brother.
Hey, Haley, come here.
What up, man? What's happening?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Are you okay?
I can barely see you.
Oh man, that's great. Well, look,
baby.
Yeah, she is such an adorable baby.
Ain't she?
She's running.
Oh, she's
ready
walking.
to play.
Wow.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you. Love you.
All right, love you.
Love y'all. Be good, okay? Happy New Year too.
Oh, I was
Happy
muted.
New Year. Love y'all.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
All right. I love it.
And she's
All right,
really
that's the
taking that
wrap.
phone.
Everybody Mad Live Podcast. Don't forget you can follow us, Everybody Mad Live Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook. And you can check me out, Kenya Kabeen, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, I have a few more days in Greenville, but I'll still be available everywhere, so you can hit me in the same places. I am Said Lover everywhere, and I'd love to talk to you. If you got some ideas for the show, or you have some people you want to be a part of the show, you can always shoot us a note right there in one of our social platforms. But until then, thank you for rocking with us today, and we will definitely see you next year. Happy New Year. Oh, happy Kwanzaa. Today is day 5 of Kwanzaa.
That's right.
I don't know if you've been celebrating, but today is Nia, and it means purpose. So hopefully you find your purpose in life, in work, and whatever you're trying to do. But thank you again for being a part of the Everybody Mad Live Podcast. Happy New Year, and we will see you next year in 2022.